and then get my PowerPoint ready. Okay. And share screen, share screen. There we go. Everybody see my screen properly here? Just say yes, or someone type in yes. Great,
Yes.
great to hear. Okay, so I'm gonna just mute all of you and get going here. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, okay, dokie. There we go here. Cool. Well, this is the how to attract quality clients from LinkedIn in September 2023. Welcome to our brand new business season. Thank you all for being here today. I know your time is valuable. Once again, I'm going to try to give you some really actionable and interesting information today. And at the very, very end, I will ask you to be my client. And if I can help you at all, go from there. So why LinkedIn, right? So LinkedIn can be very, very confusing. People have been trying to use LinkedIn. I saw a stat today out of the 900 million plus members on LinkedIn, only about 10 million people, I think the guy said in the podcast, are using LinkedIn, on a regular basis. So, there's a lot of room for growth. In the chat box, type a Y or N if you agree that LinkedIn can be very, very confusing, that you're not quite sure what to do. There's so many steps, so many buttons to press, so many things to say, so many things to do on there. If you find LinkedIn a bit confusing, just type a Y in the chat box for me, okay? I want to tell you why I'm qualified to teach you today. I've been using LinkedIn for a long, long time. I've been on LinkedIn since 2006. LinkedIn came into fruition in 2003, and I immediately saw the writing on the wall that it would be a great place to concentrate my efforts and my money onto, because really for the last 13 plus years, LinkedIn has provided me with all my leads. Like, not SEO, not Google, not Facebook. I really concentrated on LinkedIn, and I believe it can do the same thing for you also. Also, I've helped my clients generate millions of dollars in sales over the last 13 plus years. LinkedIn has a phenomenal database. The saying, the money's in the list. Well, LinkedIn has a list. It's just a matter of you niching into it and properly using it for your company for lead generation or marketing. Don't believe me, what I'm saying. Look at my recommendations on my LinkedIn profile. And that's what we're going to talk about today is, we've all gone on shopping online. My wife loves shopping online. I like shopping online. It's very convenient, very, very easy. And why am I talking about this? Because reviews are very, very important. So if you don't have a ton of great recommendations on your profile on LinkedIn and you want to use it seriously for marketing, for lead generation, for connectivity, for joint venturing, you need more recommendations. It's very, very important to have, because let's face it, when you have a Zoom meeting with somebody afterwards, the credibility hump is what I call it. You don't want to have to worry about the credibility hump. You want people to already, somewhat trust you. So, looking at my profile on LinkedIn, and just looking at all of my recommendations I've worked very, very hard to consistently, my last one was, what is the date on this one? August 30th, 2023. So if you don't have just a ton of recommendations, I now have 143. You want to really start working on that. And you don't need to get recommendations only from your clients. You can ask peers to recommend you, to talk about your work ethic, to talk about what a great person you are. But you want to have just, I thought to myself, well, when people come to my profile and are thinking of working with me, I want to have so many recommendations, it just like blows them away. So, that is my take on that. If you don't know how to do it, I'll tell you how to do it during this whole session today. And yeah, recommendations are super, super important. A quick note, this is really cool. This guy, Freddie Ravel, at the very, very top, the only white guy ever played with Earth, Wind, and Fire. And I can tell you that when I take my dog walking for a walk in the morning, I'm listening to September all the time. So What else is LinkedIn important for, and why LinkedIn? Well, it was launched in 2003 by Reid Hoffman, Alan Blue, and previous CEO Jeff Weiner, acquired by Microsoft in 2016. Only 13 years later, for 26 billion. Imagine having that kind of payout. Wow, we could all wish for that, right? 170 million plus users in North America. USA, Canada, India, and Brazil, and UK have the highest number of users. And a big number you should be concerned about and worry about, or to know, is that 44% of LinkedIn users earn more than $80,000 per year. Why is that important? Because the people on LinkedIn have the money to spend on your services, on your products. They're not poor like people on Facebook who, primarily that's like $30,000 less for Facebook users and $80,000 plus for LinkedIn users. So why should you be using LinkedIn for lead generation and marketing? Because you realize that you have no more low-hanging fruit in your business. Your calendar isn't as full as you want it to be. You're burning time trying to get meetings. And the people you do talk to who do book you in from other sources possibly are tire kickers. They're not really interested in buying your services. They're more like filling you out. They're more, maybe sometimes trying to sell you their services. How many of us have gotten a Zoom meeting only to have someone pitch their services when you thought you were there for helping them with your services? So in 2023, I feel there are 4 pillars of success for LinkedIn. What is the winning strategy? These, what I believe the 4 pillars are LinkedIn are a LinkedIn profile that's rockstar, that convinces your prospects you are the right one, right? We want to make sure people look at your profile and go, wow, like that's amazing profile you have. You have a great cover banner, you have a great picture, blah, 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 blah. Consistent marketing, consistent content marketing. And that's the other thing, consistency. Are you constantly building your list by adding either followers or first connections? Are you building relationships? Sometimes it's time to have someone help you with that, because if you're going to do LinkedIn lead generation and marketing for yourself properly, you're probably talking about 10 to 15 hours a week to do it properly. And that includes creating content, doing content marketing, joint venturing, talking to people on the LinkedIn chat box, making sure you actually build up a clientele or a list of people who are interested in talking to you. And then also, are you using the LinkedIn event platform to create your own LinkedIn events like I'm doing today? So your LinkedIn profile, let's start with that first of all. It should be more than just a business card online. It should be more than just saying what you do. It's a marketing tool to expand your and grow your network and credibility. So what the first question is, write this down for yourself. What am I doing to stand out from my competition? Have I done any research on LinkedIn on my competition by typing the key phrase that you normally would type into Google: real estate agent in my area, marketing company to use? There's all these different things you can do on LinkedIn to stand out from your competition. And I'm always thinking myself about, well, what can I do on LinkedIn that my competition, that no other LinkedIn lead generation company is doing? What can I do as far as my content marketing? Recently I started adding Pixar type animated video to my content marketing. You might have seen it beforehand. I'll show you a picture of it today. What it looks like. People often also choose to accept or reject your connection that you're sending them from your headshot and your banner from the My Network tab. So here's the My Network tab on LinkedIn. Okay, My Network. And people are looking to accept your connection request from sometimes all these things over here. So if I look at all 445 connection requests people are sending me on a regular basis, most of these are people, some are newsletters and events. So here's people, right? And uh, are you looking approachable in your pitch headshot? That's the first thing, right? So look at Shankar. Don't really see him smiling that much, because I want to look at somebody and go, that person looks very friendly to work with. I want someone who I feel I can connect with, because write this down for yourself. People buy with emotion, and then they reconcile that purchase or that decision right, with their other part of their brain, their thinking part of their brain. They buy with emotion, but they, reconcile their purchase with the other side of the brain, right? So left brain and right brain. So what are you doing? Are you emotionally connecting to your audience on LinkedIn? Can you build a massive following? So the first thing is, your cover banner. Um, Everybody's heard of the saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression. It's very, very important. Your cover banner looks and photo look outstanding. So, what does your cover banner look like? Do you have a cover banner that's nothing at all, right? So what's better, this, right? Cover banner, which is nothing at all. And also look at this headshot. And this is a real person I found LinkedIn the other day. I'm connected to him. No headshot, a picture of some mansion, right? The president, right? Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense at all. So what's better, this or this over here? These are cover banners. Some of these I've designed myself, some of them I haven't. So, does your cover banner look outstanding? Is it really cool? Does it also possibly have some wording on it, right? Like look at Mary Vivian, helping you and your business grow and reach your full potential. So all these things are so, so important. Are you doing these things for yourself? Next thing is your headshot. What is the number one thing you see that is common in all of these pictures over here? Is people are smiling. Let's check the chat box for a second here and see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so make sure that in your headshot, if you don't have a good headshot for yourself, and you don't need to have a professional headshot done, you need to spend, hundreds of dollars on a session with a master photographer. You can if you want to, for sure. Don't get me wrong, you can, but use your, so many cell phones have great cameras on them. But when you do it, take like 2 dozen headshots. Don't just take people send me like one headshot. I took one headshot and it doesn't look good at all. So take 2 dozen headshots. Make sure you're smiling. If you are a business and you're selling business type services, make sure you look like that. If you are a person who owns a resort in Mexico, wear a Hawaiian shirt, have a Mai Tai in your hand. Welcome them to come to my resort, right? So next thing is optimizing your profile. There's something called LinkedIn SEO. And for those of you who don't know what SEO stands for, it stands for search engine optimization. And search engine optimization is a term normally used by website people for Google to optimize your website so that when people look for your service like plumber or LinkedIn lead generation expert, you're number one on top of the fold on Google. But if you do the same thing on LinkedIn, you can get ranked better on LinkedIn. And that is really, really important because people are searching for your service. Like, let's say, plumber. I'm looking for a plumber. I'm not using Google. I can use LinkedIn. And I can find a plumber in my first degree connections, possibly in my city. You can, do the searches on there. And as you see, plumbers aren't that great at doing a LinkedIn profile, but they have the word plumber. So on my profile on LinkedIn, I'm just going to go to it for a second here. Give me a second here. My top key phrase on LinkedIn is, give it a second to go and do its thing. Come on, LinkedIn. There we go. So the top phrase on my profile is, and the first phrase also is LinkedIn lead generation expert. Oop, here it goes again, LinkedIn lead generation expert. And that is the phrase I want to have on my profile, especially for LinkedIn SEO. That way, hopefully I'll get ranked better on LinkedIn, at least for my first connections, to make sure they see me and when looking for my service, because people are using LinkedIn like a search engine. Your headline, what to do with your headline. Don't make it generic. Don't use your job title alone. Don't make it general. And these are the 4 things people want to know when they come to your profile if they're thinking about looking for your service. Write this down, please. Who are you? What do you do? What can you do for me? And especially, Why should I use your services as opposed to the hundreds or thousands of other people on LinkedIn who do exactly the same thing you do? Like really sit down with a pad of paper and maybe some friends or ask your colleagues, ask your clients, why me? Why do you like working with me? Why do you keep on working with me year after year? I have clients I've been working with now for my LinkedIn lead generation service for about 4 or 5 years now. So why me? And I ask people on a regular basis. I send out surveys. I ask them on the phone for my Zoom meeting. Why you? So ask your clients why you. Ask your family, what do you think is about me that people like working with? And so that's very, very important. Next thing is your about section, which is over here, right? So here's my about section. And if you notice a couple of things, once again, here's my LinkedIn SEO, LinkedIn lead generation expert. Also got a couple of emojis on there and a couple other cool things happening, and my Calendly links on here also. So do you have a well-written about section? Need help writing it? Contact me. I'll be happy to help you write it. I'd be happy to help you write your profile headline over here. This part is so important. If you get this part right, you'll get a lot more people messaging you and also talking to you about sales and marketing, right? About hiring you for your services, right? So, remarkably, people have usually terrible summaries and they don't really identify why you. So, it's very, very important. What you don't do with your summary, once again, it's not just about your job descriptions. Make sure you have benefits, like maybe have case studies on there on your profile section, links to your website people can see. I mean, there's all different things. Your summary should address the problems you solve for your clients or your company. So, here, once again, is my headline, and you really need to know what you do. Also, look on my profile thing here. If you want to see what I do, and you can't see it on mine, but usually there's a little bell over here. Click on the bell, never miss a thing. If you click on my bell on my profile, and I'll put my profile in here, you'll see all my updates. You'll see, oh, thank you, Kim. I sure appreciate that. I saw your chat box thing here. Uh, people will see all your updates when I post content. They'll see it, all those things. So and look, I even have that on my banner, right? So these are very, very important things to think about when you're doing LinkedIn marketing and lead generation. So once again, address pain points, your problem solving for your customers, right? So here's my about section once again, and make sure you have a really well laid out about section, thinking backwards from, if I was on Google and I was searching for my service, and you maybe do a search for another service, maybe not yours, because I think personally, and agree with me, type a yes or no in the chat box if you want to. We all have blind spots about ourselves, right? You can give advice about your friend's love life, until the sun goes down. But thinking about your own love life, that's very confusing. It's like, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? The same thing for your business. That's why people often hire me, because of the fact I can look at your company, look at your situation from a third party and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Or you know what you wrote in your about section, your profile, or what your profile in general is very confusing. If you ask someone to explain to you what you do from them looking at your profile and they can't, you need to redo your profile. So very, very important. And I have a deal for that later on. The next thing is, your experiences. Uh, Often people ask me, if you're looking on your experience section, should I have multiple experiences? Because, and I have that, I think I'm on a slide, I'll reorder these a little bit. But, for your experience section, people often ask me, Al, I do 4 or 5 different things in my company, in my business. Should I have 4 or 5 different profiles on LinkedIn? And the answer is absolutely not. Number one, it disqualifies you. If LinkedIn sees that, they'll delete all your profiles. And people have come to me very often to get their profiles reclaimed, because I actually have a profile get out of jail service because I've had my profile suspended twice now by LinkedIn. Both times they told me it was not me doing anything at all. It was the algorithm. But, here's my little cool little profile video if you want to see this ever.
Help, 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 help. I've been put in LinkedIn jail and I can't get out.
So LinkedIn is not very good, as you all probably know. If anybody's ever tried to contact LinkedIn, it is a nightmare sometimes. You got to create a support ticket, and they send you sometimes a generic page or post in a generic answer. Very, very, very hard sometimes to get any kind of real answers from LinkedIn about why you're suspended. And sometimes, and you might not even know this, you have a hidden restriction or hidden suspension, in the sense that you can see your profile. This happened to me once. I could see my profile, but no one else could see it. It looked like it was totally suspended, even though I was on LinkedIn. I could log in my profile and see everything else, but no one else could see it. So, once again, if you need help with that, let me know. Don't just put in, once again, on your profile what it does. Also, if you're looking for a job and using LinkedIn job search, you want to make sure you have your profile much done. And also, really, if you're looking for a job on LinkedIn and using the job search function, make sure you know what you're posting on content. If you're posting crazy conspiracy theories, right? No one wants to see that at all, right? Don't create two profiles. It's against LinkedIn's rules. Your profiles will be deleted. Create multiple experiences on your LinkedIn profile here. Here's my profile once again. And here are my multiple experiences, right? My website design company, I started 28 years ago. Other things I have on here on LinkedIn. So, multiple experiences, making sure each experience, once again, answers the question, why you? Very, very important. Here are some examples of before and after profile makeovers I've done. Once again, here's that, headshot, no smiling at all, no cover banner. And then you have a, brand new headshot that's much brighter, right? You have a colored a banner, right? His a logo on there, contact me, his contact information. Oh, how many of you have run into this? You go on LinkedIn, you want to contact somebody, maybe you want to hire them, maybe you want to joint venture with them, who knows, and you can't find their contact information. You go on to this part of LinkedIn, and your contact info or their contact info has not been updated. We've all done this beforehand. We've all clicked on websites like this over here, and guess what? It goes nowhere, right? How embarrassing is that if people haven't updated their profile information in 5 or 6 years? So make sure you have your profile information updated consistently. Here's another example. Once again, headshot, his head's cut off, no banner, and then, nice and lean and mean looking there, and a nice clear banner that tells you exactly what the person does. Here's Sharon. She came to me. She owns a large construction company in San Francisco. And she came to me and said to me, I need to get my profile updated, right? People, she wanted to use LinkedIn for marketing and lead generation. And now you can see her profile on the right-hand side, looking much, much better. Company pages. People have always asked me, do I need a company page? And my thing is, yes, you do, because people expect it, right? And you'd always know if you have a company page properly set up by this part over here and seeing a colored logo, not some blank thing like this over here on the bottom, right? But a colored logo, making sure you have this, and then making sure you have your company page properly set up. Here's my company page on LinkedIn. And to create a company page, all you need to do is go to the for business over here, and a new window pops up on the right-hand side, and it says create a company page in the bottom section over here. So make sure you have your company page properly done, make sure it's properly set up, right? And here is my company page. So, I think it's very, very important that people have this. Do company pages get a ton of engagement? Generally speaking, no. But larger companies have used company pages to grow a massive following, as well as, very, very important, if you have like a lot of employees. Guess what? Employees want to do research on your company before they work for you. So making sure you have a great culture promoted on your company page. Very, very important. Here are samples of great profile headlines. I'll just pop this link into the chat box so you can go there if you want to. Give me 1 second. I'm going to type that in there. Yes, the presentation is being recorded and will be shared afterwards. Oh, everyone. I just put it to one person by mistake. There we go. So everybody hopefully can go on that. And next thing is, how do I rank on LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn has a web page. Once again, here is the link to it in the chat box. Give me a second just to pop it in there. And I want everybody to click on this right now and go there for a second and see what your score is. And maybe type your score or pop your score into the chat box. SSI, Social Selling Index. What does it mean? Is it important? Well, Social Selling Index, unfortunately or fortunately, is a tool for LinkedIn to sell you their Sales Navigator premium membership. That's what it's mostly for. But it also tells you where you are on LinkedIn as far as how well you're doing for different things like, make sure you can see this here, establishing your professional brand, finding the right people, engaging with insights, and build relationships. So it'll tell you and give you a snapshot of where you are on there. Most people who come to me have like a 60. I have 86 right now. And anything above 75 is really, really good. Above 80 is amazing. And you want to make sure that you have a high social selling index, because that also plays into how do I show up when people are doing a search for my services in the search bar over here. A higher SSI score will get you ranked better. So those are important. And a little tip and trick that people don't know about usually for having a high SSI score, a big part of that is how do you engage on other people's content. If you go to my content marketing page on LinkedIn, show all posts, activity, here's maybe activity over here. Here we go. Thank you, Queenie. I sure appreciate if you send me a connection request. I'm out of them right now. So here is my content marketing page. And a big part of the content marketing here is, am I doing any kind of engagement on other people's content? I don't know why that's not showing up here. It's like a white man in a snowstorm. Here we go. Here's popping on here for a second. So, right? So, are you doing any kind of engagement on other people's content? So here's my comment section. And you can go here. As you can see, I am very, very active in engaging on other people's content. This content is not mine mostly. And so I'm always doing comments and shares and other things on other people's content. It's very, very important you do the same thing also, because when people see you commenting on their content, guess what? You're going to get their attention. Also, if you're going after a person for making them your client, a great way of getting them to notice you is in combination with direct messaging, commenting on their content. So going to their content and commenting on it, that really gets their attention. So that's a great tip for not only increasing your SSI score, but also making sure they see you're looking at their content. So, which brings us to content marketing, right? Content marketing is so important in 2023. On my Done For You program, I do 8 pieces of static content for my clients. And also I do 1 or 2 videos every single month for my clients as well. And content marketing is where a lot of people really have a challenge. So here's an example of this piece of content. I set I share your content when people work with me. I share your content with my 30,000 plus audience on LinkedIn, and therefore they like, share, and comment on there. And here's, a cool example of my animated content. I'll show this to you for a second here. This is pretty cool. This is a promo for today's webinar I just put on there. So, I'm always thinking, what can I do once again for myself or my clients? I do animated videos for my clients also. What can I do differently that no one else is doing on LinkedIn? And I started thinking, like no one's really doing animated videos on LinkedIn very often. So I thought that'd be cool. I should learn how to do animated videos. And so once again, what can you do on LinkedIn that no one else is doing for your services or your profile? Thank you, Queenie. So, also by doing content marketing on a regular basis, it gets your audience to know who you are, what you care about. I often do content also on how to do things on LinkedIn. So there are several kinds of content on LinkedIn. There's content that shows your audience who you are, like content about things that are very personal. There's content that trains people. There's content that has nothing to do with your business at all. Engaging, funny content. We've all seen kittens or puppies or ducks walking along the road, or some guy stopping on a motorcycle and helping some old lady cross the road, which is obviously pretty strange sometimes. But you look at that content, sometimes it's getting 500 likes and 100 comments and 10 reshares. And that's all working on building up your personal brand. So you want to create engaging content on a regular basis. But also very, very important. For instance, here's LinkedIn, right? Here's the feed. So when your content gets no engagement, like this person, I know this person just posted this content. Oh, actually a week ago. So the person posted this content a week ago, but look, no likes, no comments, right? So the LinkedIn algorithm, and this is very, very important to know, the LinkedIn algorithm says that if you're posting content on a regular basis and you're not getting great engagement on your content, it will shrink your audience as far as how many people see your content on the feed to only 10% or less. So, I have 30,000 plus people, so maybe 3,000 people would see my content on a regular basis. Conversely, though, if you get great content marketing and you get great engagement, like where's my content? Here's my content, my activity. So this post an hour ago got 289 likes, 21 comments. This one I showed you got 601 likes, 32 comments. This one over here got 15 or 846 likes and 34 comments, and already has 1,500 impressions. So the whole idea, and this tells you how to use the LinkedIn search bar, right? So this is a teaching video. So, those things are so important. But a lot of people have challenges creating great content because they're not video creators, they're not content marketers. So, people can have that done. You can have it done for you. Just saying. Very, very important. Chat GPT. So let's look at Chat GPT for a second. This is pretty cool. So here's Chat GPT. Where is my link? Here it goes. I used this the other day to create some content. So can somebody do me a favor? Just put a key phrase about what kind of content this could be written on in the chat box. Write a key phrase like plumbing or marketing or something else. Somebody just type in something in the chat box for me so I can get some idea of what you guys are interested in writing content about. I'll put it in here and I'll show you what happens. So anybody at all, just go to the chat box here and write down a key phrase. Create a content marketing plan. Fantastic. Thank you, Deval. Okay. Move my little thing over here, hide this, send message, type this in. Look at this. Is that not the coolest thing since sliced bread or not? Or what? So you can do this on ChatGPT, and you can regenerate the content. If you find the first version of what it did for you sucks totally, just click on the regenerate button over here and it'll do that for you again. And it'll do it over and over again till you get a result that you actually like. So you can create a script for you, it can write a content ideas for you, but you still got to create the graphics and create the videos for yourself. So here's some examples of videos I've created.
You're not using LinkedIn event platform and it's costing you money. The LinkedIn event platform, what is it? In January 2020.
There's that one over there. This one I just put in this morning because LinkedIn recently added captions on videos.
I'm back, and today I'm going to tell you how to do a proper search on LinkedIn for the best results. When companies hire me as a lead generation and marketing expert, and
here's my LinkedIn get out of jail video.
Help, 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 help. I've been put in LinkedIn jail and I can't get out.
So once again, write this down for yourself. What am I doing differently than on LinkedIn that nobody else in my industry is doing at all? Right? So important. And don't forget, there'll be a Q&A at the very, very end. Make sure you stick around. I'll be happy to answer all of your questions. So, when you're doing content marketing, these are actual snapshots from LinkedIn on people's content. 1,313 likes, 380 comments, 26,000 views, 27,000 views, 43,000 views. If you don't think that actually equals, putting money on the table, you're totally wrong. Because look at this person. This is going to blow you away. Her name is Bridget Hassian. I use it in all my presentations because I've never seen somebody with so many followers on LinkedIn. I think she's up to 4,400,000 followers. And what do you think that equals when people are looking to hire someone who is a HR expert, right? She does human resources. She talks to companies about hiring processes and things. And I remember, and I tell this every time I do one of these webinars, I remember a very, very compelling video she did, where a person that hired her to come into her company for hiring processes and HR stuff, they were hiring, they were doing interviews. Some guy came into the interview half an hour late, soaking wet. And the person that hired her was saying, I'm going to send the person home. And she said, well, wait a minute here. Let's hear the story first, right? And the story was the person's bus broke down on the way to the interview. They ran for almost half an hour in the rain to get to the job posting or the job interview. And she said to him, it's like, that person will be a phenomenal employee. And the person on her advice hired them and was once again a phenomenal employee. So what can you do? What kind of stories can you tell on LinkedIn? And if you're not sure about ideas, once again, brainstorm with your friends, brainstorm with me, contact me afterwards. I'll be happy to do some brainstorming with you for free about what kind of ideas you could put them in ChatGPT, see what it spits out. And then you can do, I'm an edutainer. That's right. Edutainment. Someone said that's right. And you want to be an edutainer. You want to be on LinkedIn and do combination of entertainment and education. The next thing is, on your profile. Where's my profile again? Here we are. Let's go back to my profile again for a second. Rich media. So if you're doing any kind of content marketing, you want to stick some of your rich media onto your profile over here. Like, look over here, feature section. My feature section has all these videos. Excuse me, pardon me for a second. Let's grab a sip of water here. Thank you so much. I have my rich media, and you go to people's profiles on LinkedIn, and once again, when people are going to book a meeting with you, trust me, they're doing research and they're looking at three things. Write this down. They're looking at your profile, looking at your company page, and looking at your website. And if all three things are, your I's dotted, T's crossed are great, people will generally be much more inclined to book a meeting with you. Here's a cool one I did for Halloween last year. And once again, using my cool software I have. I talk about the 5 things in my top of the video over here. So, did a little bit of fun. So once again, you want to have fun with people on LinkedIn. You want to be engaging. You want to be different. Getting back to that thing I've been saying over and over again is, what am I doing differently on LinkedIn that no one else is doing? Look at this video, had 2,600 impressions so far from last year. So all the different things on LinkedIn are so important. Messaging people on LinkedIn, right? How many of us have seen a message on LinkedIn, hi there, without any type of other introduction, without asking a question about who you are or what you do? Are you looking to get more leads on LinkedIn, right? We've all seen those types of messages, sales messages, right? Here's one over here. I got this one the other day. I actually got this one back in February, but I get these every single day. I'm sure you do also, which makes my job so much harder, right? People don't want to be sold to on LinkedIn. They want to be helped out. So if you look at a person who's able to help people out, I give away so much free information on LinkedIn. I give away so much. I try to help people out for free all the time, and then trust me, it comes back to you. People want to hire you also. When you do these things, the law of reciprocity. People want to help people or be with people who want to help them out. So if you come from that mindset of being a giver's gain, helping people out without being salesy, silly or salesy, do that then. Very important. And the next thing is the LinkedIn event platform. As said beforehand, there are approximately 900 million. LinkedIn's going to hit 1 billion probably next year. And so, are you doing all these things? Are you connecting with people? Are you doing LinkedIn marketing? Are you doing lead generation? Are you doing content marketing? Are you messaging people? Another big question is, write it down for myself. When's the last time I messaged everybody on my list or clean my list on LinkedIn? And so I message every single person on my LinkedIn at least once a year. And if you don't do that for yourself, why do you have people on your profile just sitting there wasting space? You're only allowed 30,000 first connections on LinkedIn. Make sure you clean your list once in a while. Make sure you message people. If people come back to you with some snarky comment, go to their LinkedIn profile and disconnect from them. You don't need them at all, right? I want people who are positive in my life. So, very few people are using the LinkedIn event platform like I'm doing today. I think once again, out of the 900 million people on LinkedIn, probably 10 million people are using the LinkedIn event platform on a regular basis or at all, right? Which once again leaves you with a very unique opportunity to do something that no one else is doing on LinkedIn by putting on your own events. Don't know how to? Contact me. I'll be happy to help you out. So, what can you do to make LinkedIn lead generation or marketing work for you? Well, that's a very good question. I have some answers for you. We find that most businesses have 3 mistakes they're making. First of all, they have low or non-existent lead flow, right? You want to make sure on a regular basis, you're messaging people on LinkedIn, you're booking people on your calendar, you have a calendar link, right? Very important. Number 2, they have a bad or non-existent warm-up system. Write this down for yourself. Did you know that at any time on LinkedIn, when you post something, 1 to 3% of people in general are looking for your service right away? 30%, or actually no, 7% of people are looking to buy the service that you're promoting in 2 weeks. So not looking right away, but looking in 2 weeks from now. 30% of people are looking in 6 months. 30% of people are looking in maybe a year from now to buy your service, so thinking about it long term. And then the last 30% of people are never going to buy your service. They don't want your service. They don't need your service. And so most people are looking or in a dogfight for that 1 to 3% of people who are looking for your service right now, but they have no follow-up system. They don't have any long-term messaging system that's modified or automated either by email or by LinkedIn messaging. They have no follow-up system. So people might not want your service, but you remind them in 2 weeks from now, oh yeah, you messaged me 2 weeks ago. I saw that. You know what? Now I'm ready to pull the trigger. Let's at least have a meeting, right? And the last thing is they're doing it themselves, right? You are busy running your business. You're doing everything yourself. You don't have an automated system. Your calendar's not getting booked up with appointments. You're not doing content marketing. You're not showing your authority or niche, and you're not doing any events on LinkedIn. So, do you need help? Well, if you do, I have what's called a customized prescription and profile design on LinkedIn, right? I go in and I redo your profile for you. We figure out who your connections are and how you can get more connections. We figure out how you can do content marketing. I give you my tools I use for my content marketing, conversations, what kind of messaging should you send, right? What kind of messaging will convert with the people who you talk to? Because another thing that people tell me is I'm getting connections requests accepted, but then I message people on LinkedIn and it's crickets chirping, right? No one is getting back to me. No one's messaging back. I feel like I'm in a vacuum, right? So what kind of messages are you sending people, right? And do you have plans and systems? You have a clear plan of action and a system in the back end that supports it. How many leads do you need, right? So this customized prescription is meant to create sales. Time is money. And if you are tired of spinning your wheels, not knowing what to do, not doing things consistently, right? I have not creating a strong professional brand, not having a profile plan of action, not having a system in the back end to help you out. You need a system. One of my clients, David Crane, generated an $85,000 sale within the first 2 weeks of working with me. Right, this guy Tom Matson, closed $30 million in sales. He works in mining, oil and gas type situation and does $100 million projects. $30 million in sales from his Lead Wizard campaign with me. That was on my Done For You program. So on this program, and I have a deal for you today if you're interested in taking it. I'm going to create a amazing, outstanding converting profile for you. I'm going to copyright your profile for you because once again, we talked about the forest and the trees, that you can't see your own forest for your trees. Well, after asking you a zillion questions, I'll be able to figure out what you should be saying and what you should be doing, and I'll do it for you. I'll create messaging scripts for you, right? And what kind of automation should you use? You want to be sitting there doing LinkedIn stuff yourself, right? Or having me do it for you. Should you use a paid membership on LinkedIn? There are 4 kinds of paid memberships on LinkedIn. There's career, business, sales navigator, and recruiter. Which one should you use? Which one is for you, right? I have a little known feature on LinkedIn that converts like crazy, right? I'll be able to show you that. Why you're getting people accepting your connection request by no engagement afterwards, because we analyze your messaging, what kind of content marketing you should be doing, and how to create your own streaming videos or have me do your videos for you, how to use a LinkedIn events, how to create job postings on LinkedIn if you're hiring people, right? That's really important. Should you be using LinkedIn groups? Should you be using LinkedIn paid advertising? I'll tell you all about this and plop it in your lap in a nice, tidy, package. So I have this $1,500 LinkedIn profile system. This one over here is called Foundations, right? This is where I train you and teach you how to do everything yourself. And then also have my Done For You service, which is differently. If you want to have someone do it all for you, I have that also. But on this one over here, I'll do all those things, what you're selling, who you're selling to, update your LinkedIn profile, right? Target marketing definition, how you should search on LinkedIn. Once again, that search video I did. Your key message development, What kind of messages should you be saying? What should your invitation message say? And what should your invitation never say, right? Your website review, also having done websites for 25 years, looking at your website, implementation guidance, and my guarantee, which says, if after doing this program and 2 months of guidance, you're not generating warm leads for yourself, I'll give all your money back. Very, very simple. It's totally guaranteed. There's no risk to you. Now, I got a deal today, which is amazing. I'm not charging you $1,500 for this. I'm charging you $500 for this. That's it. So I'm going to pop into the chat box at the very, very end of this during the Q&A session, some documents you can send me, like a Word document. There's a payment link on it, right? I have a couple of different payment options. I have 2 payments of $250. I have 1 payment of $500, and I have one other payment, I think, also. So, do you want someone to do it for you or help you dramatically do this for you? So now I want to open up the Q&A, and please, you can unmute yourselves if you want to. Let me know what you're asking. I'm going to go to the chat box right now. So someone typed in a company page looked at, right? So if you have any questions, either unmute yourself or type your question in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer them for you. And while you do that, I'm going to simply go to my computer for a second and load up those forms. Give me a second here. So once again, unmute yourself.
I have a question.
Yep, sounds good.
One
Go
thing
ahead.
that I do for me is the LinkedIn events because I've been on LinkedIn since like 2009.
Yep.
One of the things I've learned is the events is, what is the best way to be able to make engagement? Because I noticed I have a really huge list of people, really great people, really good, but engagement for me is kind of low because I guess it's because I'm not consistent. How can
Yeah.
you utilize events to create more consistency with your outreach to your connections that you already have?
Great question. I'll be happy to answer it for you. Here is my LinkedIn event page for today. Where is it? No, activity, feed. Okay, I'm just going to go to my LinkedIn event page for today. So I'll answer your question, Ryan, in 1 second. Let me finish doing this one here first. So the first thing is, when you create your events, are you creating your events from your company or are you creating events from your personal profile? And you can tell by events by here. Does it say your name or does it say your company page? Or
I haven't
do you know
really,
even?
I don't even know how to do events, so that's why I'm
Okay.
curious.
Okay. So the first thing is, make sure you do your event by your company page, because only on your company page can you do this. Manage attendees, download registration details, which gives you a CSV of all the people, including their email addresses. So did anybody get an email from me today? Did you get
Yes.
an email from me today reminding you about the event?
Yes.
Yeah, you did. So that's the first thing. Make sure that on your event page, you're doing it from your company, and that way you can make sure that your company page is getting that CSV you can download and then email people to remind them. Very, very important. Next thing is, I do this on a regular basis. I'm not sure where it is. My actual LinkedIn. I'm not sure which one it is here, starting in 20 minutes. Here it is. So here's the one from today. I'm not sure why it's down. 1 hour, right? You can see the difference. I'm not sure why it's not showing or most relevant. Most recent. Here we are. So most recent. Here we go here. Someone's trying to spam my page list here. This is something you never do. Someone's trying to spam my page with their things over here. But yeah, you want to make sure that you have the Zoom link on here, right? I put my Zoom link on here so people can find it. Very, very important. And I have that email thingy there to make sure I can email people where I, use my personal like Outlook email to email 50 people at a time. Answer your question? Or is that part of your question?
That answers my question.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And who is this, by the way?
Anya,
Oh, Anya. Okay. Thank you so much for being here today. Sure appreciate it. Ryan asked, What key metric indicators we recommend to measure success on impressions like comments, shares, act? Good question. Well, LinkedIn came out with this recently. Where is my profile again here? Messaging, activity. No, let's go back to my profile here. This is pretty cool. No problem. Yesu Dasan. Cool name, man. So let's go to my profile here. Now you can only see this on your own personal profile. You can't see this on anybody else's profile, but view all analytics, right? So here's the button here. You can see profile views. And by the way, on your when you have a premium membership on LinkedIn, you can go to who's viewed my profile. So, and also here is all these post analytics. So how many post impressions I've had, right? Is going up, is going down, right? All these little tiny metrics. So you can see what's happening here on a regular basis. Top performing posts, right? So I can go on my top performing post here, Ryan, and I can see who commented on it, right? And maybe message those people afterwards on LinkedIn, get them to become my connection. So here is the who's viewed my profile also from the homepage. This is pretty cool. Profile viewers, here we are. And this only works if you have a premium membership on LinkedIn. So you get the people here. Now, I can go to these people here and accept the connection request. Deval, I can just accept it because he's on the webinar today. I can go in and message people. Here's Anna, who's on the webinar today. I want to say thank you afterwards, right? So these are all things you can do on LinkedIn to measure your engagement activity, but you want to make sure that you do, I would say, do the engagement activity, the metrics on there that I showed you a second ago, Ryan, as well as also your SSI score. So I would do those two different things. And once again, on the webinar here, and also for anybody who doesn't have all those, or came late, whatever, you can go to the chat on LinkedIn, go to 3 dots over here, and you can go save chat. So you can save the links I put in there afterwards if you want to connect with people, if you want to market, if you want to network with people, if you want to save the links I said in there. I hope that answers your question, Ryan. Does it? The chat box, yes or no, if it answers your question. If it didn't answer your question properly, maybe you can DM me afterwards and I can, tell you in more of a one-on-one situation. Great. Oh, yeah, Ryan said yes. Yeah, I did my work properly. Thank you very much. Okay, next week question we have here is okay. Suresh asked me what type of membership should I have, paid for membership on LinkedIn should I have for lead generation. So once again, there's career, business, sales navigator, and recruiter. Well, obviously you don't need a recruiter unless you're recruiting people, but I probably would say sales navigator is the best one to have because sales navigator has the most intricate filters. Like if you're doing like say CEO here, come on, CEO. Here we go here, CEO. And then I go to all filters. After clicking on people here, I go to all filters. So if people here, and look at that, 9 million CEOs on LinkedIn all over the world. Now, if I go to locations and type in, let's say I type in California. So on California, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I have 20 locations in California. Sales Navigator will probably have 50 on there. So you can niche into smaller markets because if you're doing LinkedIn lead generation and you're creating what I call as a search string is when you apply all your filters. This is the search string here. You can do things with this little piece of code on here on LinkedIn. Let me just type this into a notepad file. So this is what I call the search string. So you can actually do things with this afterwards and manipulate in certain ways to get even more information from LinkedIn. So I would say, once again, to answer your question, if you're really serious about LinkedIn, lead generation and marketing, Sales Navigator. Hope that answers your question. And also this bunch of different things I'm not talking about as far as limits, also in different memberships. So if you have a free membership on LinkedIn and you're doing marketing and lead generation, you'll run into a screen that says, you've looked at too many profiles. We're not going to show you anymore until next month because you haven't paid for LinkedIn. So if you're doing LinkedIn lead generation, then really important you do that. Great. Who else has a question? Anybody else at all? Any more questions at all? Either unmute yourself or type in the chat box. So once again, I want to go over my LinkedIn Foundation program where I'm doing things for you, ongoing support. With this program that is $1,000 off, I'm going to give you a full year of support. So after I do things for you, and after you have this stuff done for you, if you have questions like 6 months later, you can get back to me. Because that's the one thing I find when people do these like courses, whatever, you go to a course and you watch videos or you do PDFs, whatever, nobody had asked afterwards. Like I have a question about this thing about how do you do this, or very important, LinkedIn changes LinkedIn. How many of you have been frustrated with LinkedIn because you go to do something and you go on the internet or go on LinkedIn help section and the information on there doesn't even work anymore? Yeah, JB knows, right? Oh my God. In fact, I was just doing a thing with LinkedIn. Look at this over here. This is so frustrating to me. So I go to I go to help, open in a new help tab. I just asked this question because they just changed LinkedIn Sales Navigator recently again. And it drove me crazy because I couldn't find something on there. So I was asking them on Sales Navigator, they had this one great filter called Spotlight, which showed you people who have posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. So they used to have this great filter over here, and it's gone now. So this filter allows you to find people who changed job in the last 90 days, who mentioned the news last 30 days, or most importantly, posted on LinkedIn in last 30 days, which meant the people you were searching for as far as lead generation marketing were actually active on LinkedIn, and they got rid of it. So I'm really, really angry about that. They got rid of it. But that's another big frustration I have on LinkedIn is they'll change something on LinkedIn and then they'll not update it on the website, or I can't even find it on Google even. So having someone in your back pocket to help you with all those things, that's what this package includes. And once again, if you don't have it, I'll put it one more time on the chat over here, on to downloading it here. Here it is, the credit card payment form. This is a simple Word document I created. Anybody else have a question for me?
Yeah, hi Alan.
Who's this?
Yeah, this is Yesudas from India.
Oh, cool, man. What
Yeah,
question do you have?
yeah, it's a wonderful session, and thanks for the opportunity to unmute and ask questions. It's not like a question. So I'm happy to share that we are having a team of 5 members doing the business development activity through LinkedIn.
Right.
And we do lead generation activities.
Yep.
Yeah. In case of any requirement, if you have overflowed with some business development requirement, please keep in touch with us, and we will be really help you in a better prices.
Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Does anybody
Yeah.
have any LinkedIn questions at all?
Yeah.
Go on once. Go on twice. Well, I want to thank you all so much for being here today. If you do have any LinkedIn questions, direct message me on LinkedIn. Make sure you send me a connection request also. I'll be happy to connect with all of you. I want to connect with all of you. Hey, Booze, you're here, buddy. Awesome, man. How's my video going? Is it done yet? Booze is a guy who did an interview with me on LinkedIn about LinkedIn. You there, buddy? Can't hear you if you are. Okay. Well, I want to thank all of you for being here today. Thank you so much. I'll be sending out the replay as soon as it does this thing on my computer. I'll be sticking it on my Google Drive and then sending a link to that so you can download it and rewatch it again. But you guys have all a great Wednesday. Thank you so much for being here. If you need my help, get back to me. All right, fill out the form if you want that deal. That deal will be ready. That deal will be available until the end of today. I'll be happy to help you out. Thank you so much. Bye.